All right, what's going on, everybody? So a couple of days ago, I did an assessment out over at a buddy's duplex in the city of Chicago, and this is the reason why. Check out this video. So you can see how that increasing in the neighborhood is definitely a huge concern for people who have families. Got bulls flying all over the place. There's all sorts of stuff that could happen. So what we have is we have a 4-story multiplex type of style home within one of Chicago's neighborhoods. Here you have the road right here. There was even a couple of trees in front of the building. And then here you had like the main road. Right here, this is like a sidewalk. So anyways, black gate, staircase like a stoop, glass style foyer, Chicago door, and then 4 windows here. And then you had a little side alley here that went into the back where there was an alley, like a drive alley, and then people would park their cars and stuff back there. And there was also some access into the back of the building over here, back porch, stuff like that. So that's a pretty basic multiplex layout in the city of Chicago. Now, based off the video you just saw, they were more concerned about the security happening over here. You know, right away I noticed that, hey, this gate here on the black gate, the door was broken, so you could just pull it open. And then you had to use a key fob here or a lock of some kind to get into the glass door. And at this point in time, you're just very vulnerable. Coming home late at night, whether it's from work or picking up the kids or an event, a family event, then you're going to be susceptible to, 1, the crazy ass gunfire you just saw, but 2, any sort of criminal can just walk right out from under this alleyway here and, you know, hold you up at gunpoint or hold you up at knife point. Right in front of your own home. And you got to be aware of that. The stoop is a pretty vulnerable spot. Remember, it's all about being prepared, not paranoid. But the stoop, that's one of those places you want to be looking around a little bit as you're getting into your house. Now, right away I noticed a few things, and this is what you also want to consider, not just for your home if you live in one of these types of multiplexes, but any type of home or business environment. One is deterrence. So deterrence is going to serve as top priority. Because if you could deter criminal activity from taking place to begin with, then that's the biggest win of them all. So we want to be able to deter crime from happening in this area, particularly crazy gun shootings, and then also for people stuff getting broken into. Some of the neighbors also had their new homes broken into, cars been broken into in this alleyway back here. Total danger zone. So let's talk about that then. In order to deter, what do we have to do? Well, let's identify the danger zones. So the danger zone is obviously the street here, because that's where we just saw that crazy gun shooting. That danger zone is obviously going to be the front door stoop here, as we just mentioned. Danger zone is going to be here in this alleyway with poor lighting. And then the danger zone, of course, is going to be this entire area in the back alleyway due to the history of crime and the break-ins. So you have a lot of potential danger areas surrounding this particular building. And also, if you want to get crazy about it, you could even make these danger areas behind these trees here, because criminals will hide behind that stuff, especially in Chicago. It's creepy when you see these videos of them sneaking up on people. But anyways, kind of like you just did in that video with the crazy gun shooting. So now that we've identified these danger areas in terms of being victimized by violent crime, what could we do to deter its action? Well, one of the best deterrents is always going to be security lighting. So if you have good lighting and good trajectory into these danger zone areas, and then even over here on the side alleyway, I recommended a motion sensor lighting. And then in the back, of course, by the cars, I recommended 2 motion sensor lightings. So you have 2 up here by the doorway. You have 1 over here at the corner of the building, which shines and overlaps with the 2 at the doorway. You have 1 here on the side entrance. And these are motion sensors. Why motion sensors? Because if you were like me and you ever broke into stuff in your life or cutting through people's yards, and then you get hit by a motion sensor light, it always scares the shit out of you. There's nothing you can do about it. You're just instantly going to be like, yo. And then if you try taking off in a direction, for example, then there's more motion lights. all it's doing is lighting up your pathway the entire way. It's one of the worst things that a criminal can ask for. Trust me, ask me how I know. Not that I ever did armed robberies. I never hurt anybody or nothing like that. Just dumb shit breaking into construction sites. Anyways, so we have good lighting, motion sensor lighting, which not only deters people from behaving criminally in that area because now they're scared and they want to get out of that light that wasn't there a second ago. Their whole plan's shot. But it also alerts you that somebody's coming around that corner. So having good lighting here over on the corner, I think that that's really important. Also in the alleyway, everywhere that I just mentioned. So that's going to be a great deterrence. And people are going to know that's that building with all those motion lights going off all the time. Just stay the hell away from it. You don't want nothing to do with it. Now, one of the next best things that we could do for deterrence is we could install security cameras and security systems. So, of course, we have all heard of security cameras, have those pointed over in these danger areas. Now, a really simple way to do this is just to post them up on the corners of the building, and you're going to get footage coming from that entire section of the building, right? So you could do 2 on this corner on the southeast portion, you could do 2 on this corner in the northwest portion. For here right now in this particular case, because over here on the other side of this building, this is like another building right here. There's not really much place or area that somebody could walk through. It's like super, it's like a fence, and then there's like no, like you can't even really fit a body through there. So we're not too worried about that side right there. Sure, we can go ahead and install a motion sensor light over there. Can't hurt. But this is the area these danger areas we're primarily focused on, especially for this video. So if you install these cameras here on this corner, here on that corner, you're going to get really great vision. And you can set the sensitivities to where, you know, people in the building will get notified at certain hours of the day. You could also install a camera, of course, right up here, obviously at the front door, pointing right down at the front door. The other thing you can do is you can get installed like an automatic key fob into this broken gate. So something that you can open or unlock from your phone, your mobile device. This isn't a sponsored video, but like, for example, SimpliSafe has got those things. Unlock the gate with your phone. You can get out, open the gate, close the gate behind you. And then you could also have the door open with your phone. So that's 2 lock replacements. That'll be really beneficial. And then maybe those in the back as well. And again, people have access to this stuff. You could also put door sensors or even motion sensors in the alleyway or out back by the vehicles, and you could set the time to where you get notifications of motion is for, let's say, 11 p.m. till 4 a.m. Then you could actually assign, hey, like notifications, someone's out by your car, they'll get a message for that time, and then that could help as well. But motion sensors aren't much of a deterrence, but that's just if you want to take it to that next step. So here we have these danger zones. We've identified these danger areas. One other little neat thing is that in the middle of this alleyway, historically there's a gate, and the gate is still there. It's just basically pushed up against the brick wall of the building, so it's not being used. I think that they should open that thing up and use it and just stick it there, because that's going to do something called delay. So if we cannot deter and somebody's going to do criminal activity, well, all right, well, the first thing we want to be able to do then is to delay them from being able to participate in that criminal activity, to be successful in that criminal voyage, because then we are going to deny them access in a number of ways, mostly through intervention, because they have notified the facility of their presence by being delayed, by hitting the delayed and the denied entry triggers. Those are internal alarm systems, which is going to notify everybody, hey, there's somebody who's coming in here, they're all caught up. So a really good example to think about this is like barbed wire. So if somebody was sneaking up to your fighting position and you had barbed wire laid out for hundreds of yards and they had to crawl through that, it's going to take them a much longer time to get to your fighting position, if they have to crawl through all that barbed wire, have to go down these ditches, have to navigate these minefields, they're being delayed, but then once they trigger a mine, boom, or once the cans hanging from the barbed wire start jingling and we hear it, that's us being notified. And so that's us intervening to deny them entry into that facility, that place. In this case, that gate's going to serve as that means of denying or delaying, and then the alarm systems, the notifications would serve as your mean of intervention, which then therefore means denying. Or if you're not properly trained in how to handle this type of situation, of course, call 911. But I always recommend that you know how to arm yourself, men especially. It's in your blood. It's what you're morally called to do. So I think that you should definitely know at least how to use a gun and confront somebody who's breaking into your shit. What do I know? That's just my opinion. Anyways, back to this. So here again, we have these danger zones. We have these trees. We've identified some of the mitigating factors, and we're beginning to prioritize deterrence, of course, because deterrence means that they're not going to commit the criminal activity. And then next is going to be to delay. We're not really talking about deny and intervene anymore here today. But just know that that right there is an example of how you should be setting up your home, your area, your environment, so that you can be taken care of, your loved ones and your neighbors can all be taken care of. Look, if you want more information like this exact thing right here, except we do this in person with you and your home and your situation, your camp, your workplace, your business, whatever it is, this is what we do with you so that you can develop a good, robust home security plan, keep your loved ones safe, and so that you can live calmly and more peacefully knowing that you've got shit covered if things ever happen to go that way, regardless of where you live. All right, everybody, my name is Joe Malone. I'm a former MARSOC Marine, helping people stay safe against violence and violent crime. If you want more information like this, join the Lethality University, where we can work one-on-one and we can develop these home safety plans specifically curtailed to you, your life, and your loved ones. Take care.